Alright, let's do this. Wait, man, you gotta take your shoes off.
Take my shoes off?
Yeah, dude, you gotta be a ninja, bro.
I'll be the best damn ninja you've ever seen.
Hello, and welcome to my new series, the PUBG Academy. In this series, we're going to dig into some common problems such as poor computer performance, bad decision making, strategy or lack thereof, communications, and some other fundamentals. Starting with this video, I will be giving you some quick start tips to get you and your friends rolling down the path to success by optimizing your computer performance along with some other basic changes. If you are looking for more in-depth guides, please continue to watch the series as I will be breaking down every aspect of PUBG in detail to make sure you have the tools you need to succeed. So let's get to it. Quick start tip number 1, your settings menu. First, let's review some important graphics changes. Most of these settings will need to be adjusted to optimize your FPS, however, the two most important settings in this section are foliage and view distance. Foliage on any setting above very low creates an automatic disadvantage as it can hide enemy players from your view, as it just creates more ground clutter. View distance is also crucial, as anything below ultra can result in an enemy player being able to see you while you cannot see him, even if he is in plain sight. Now that you have your foliage to very low and your view distance to ultra, let's make some fine-tuning adjustments to your graphics settings to optimize your FPS. To begin, open the Steam overlay, which is Shift and Tab in-game. On the bottom of the overlay window, you will find Settings. Click Settings and select In-Game tab across the top. Make sure the box Enable the Steam overlay while in-game is enabled. Next, go down to the left side of the window and click the drop box below In-Game FPS Counter, and set that to any position you wish. I prefer the top left, as most games will not have any interference with that location. Finally, enable high contrast color and click OK. This is going to do is give us a metric to start adjusting your graphics card settings. For ideal gameplay, with a standard 60Hz monitor, you're going to want to maintain 60 FPS during play. I suggest you write down your numbers as you go so you can identify what makes the biggest difference for you. I like to begin in the menu and try to get my FPS above 100. Once you enter a match, your FPS is going to drop drastically. The biggest single FPS adjustment I can make with my 980 Ti is shadows. Thusly, I suggest you start there. Make an adjustment, look at the FPS in the corner of the screen, and if it's above the range you're looking for, you can turn some settings up. If it's below, you still need to adjust some settings down. Once you think you have a decent tune in the menu, try it in a lobby and see how low the FPS dips while you're running around with a ton of other players. If it is significantly low or significantly high, back out to the menu and make some more adjustments until you tune it around to your goal FPS. At this point, it's guess and check and follow this process until the game is at an appropriate playable frame rate. Next, let's look at some key bindings. And while all this is personal preference, there are a few controls I strongly recommend that you rebind. Key bindings defaulted to 7, 8, 9, and 0 are extremely useful in tight combat situations to get much needed medical supplies off. This saves time from having to open your menu to right click an item, allowing you to keep a lookout while you heal. Next, know your key bindings for item stack count handling, as this allows you to split stacks, which is a very common occurrence in most games. Finally, binding auto-run to something such as tilde, the key to the left of the 1, is much easier to reach with the hand you're using to control your character's movements than reaching to the default key, the equal sign. Quick start tip number 2, your character's gear. Step 1, take your shoes off. Be a ninja. In the current version of PUBG, running with shoes is significantly louder than running without, especially in buildings, making it easier for enemy players to hear you coming. As a rule of thumb, you should always pick gear that improves your ability to blend in with the environment. I have chosen a digital camo jacket, black shirt, dark dirt colored pants. As you can see, there are plenty of more vibrant options, but I prefer to be less visible at a distance from my enemies. That completes the pre-game setup. Now let's move on to some basic knowledge for actual gameplay. Quick start tip number 3, your basic loadout. I will be doing a more in-depth video on gear and loadouts in the coming weeks, but for now the most important things that you need to know is that there is 3 types of combat in PUBG: close quarters, mid-range, and long range. There are many different weapons that are capable of handling each of these scenarios, but your ideal loadout should consist of a close quarters combat weapon and a mid to long range weapon. Additionally, you will need a backpack, body armor, and a helmet to round off your basic loadout. If you are missing any of these key items, avoid getting into firefights if at all possible, as each of these significantly increase your chance of survival in a dynamic combat engagement. Quick tip number 4. Evaluate everything from the standpoint of risk versus reward. Is going into that town that another team looked to be landing at worth the risk of getting into a close quarters fight just so you can find the last attachment you want for your M416? Remember, you can't win if you're dead. Hey, thanks for watching my introduction to the PUBG Academy. Please remember, change is not instant and it will take some time and practice to master all the techniques in this series, which is why I've decided to break it down into several videos. The next video will cover a few different general strategies that you can quickly apply to your gameplay and start improving your wins. Please drop a comment down below if you have any questions over the topics covered in this video, and if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and let me know. Also, don't forget to smash that subscribe button, and I will see you next time.